The man convicted in the kidnapping, rape, and murder of 8-year-old Cherish Periwinkle wants a new trial. Donald Smith claims his attorneys were not effective and violated his rights to a fair trial. Cherish disappeared from a Northside Walmart in 2013. Her body was found in a creek. News 4 Jax reporter Janice Harris has been in a Duval County courtroom all day where Smith was making an appeal. She joins us live from that courthouse. Janice.
It's not something you hear every day with the case, but Donald Smith's new attorneys are accusing his trial attorneys from the case where he was convicted of not representing Smith effectively during the trial, claiming that they did not remove bias, potential bias that is, from a juror. They didn't follow certain procedures and made other mistakes. If the judge agrees, then Smith could get a new trial. Donald Smith is in prison after he was convicted of murdering, raping, and killing 8-year-old Cherish Periwinkle, and he's facing the death penalty for his crimes, but he's asking for a new trial. Donald Smith's new attorneys, Anne Marie Murialkis and Robert Hope, are accusing his former attorneys, Julie Slacks and Chuck Fletcher, of not representing Smith effectively during the trial, claiming they did not remove a juror that may have been biased and did not follow proper procedures to select a jury, among other mistakes. The new attorneys filed a motion for post-conviction relief on January 6, 2023 that argues the claims. According to the motion, Juror 13 was asked if she can render a verdict based on only evidence and the law. First, the juror answered no, and then yes. The defense asked his former attorneys, Slacks and Fletcher, why they didn't eliminate the juror. Both agreed they thought she would be a good juror that could be empathetic to Smith due to her background.
Was this juror 13, one that you considered favorable for the defense?
Ultimately, yes.
In cross-examination, the prosecution asked more about why they thought Juror 13 would be a good candidate.
That her husband worked for the Department of Juvenile Justice as a teacher, correct?
Yes.
That when asked the question where she fell on the scale of 1 to 5 when it came to the death penalty, she indicated she was a 3, correct?
Yes.
And her phrase that she used, or word that she used to describe her personal feelings about the death penalty was that it's unfortunate but needed at times.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Correct.
The defense also questioned the method Slacks and Fletcher used to select jurors, claiming they didn't use the Colorado method properly that had effectively gotten life sentences in other non-related cases. Fletcher said the method wasn't required.
I gotta stress this with you. Nobody says you have to use the Colorado method to pick a jury, right?
Right.
It was also revealed in court today Smith wanted the court process to last as long as possible.
Were you following his wishes then when you took this case to trial?
Yes. Mr. Smith would say things like, well, my largest priority is to stretch this out for as long as I can. The more appellate issues, the better.
Though the defense is presenting a case that his previous attorneys did not do an effective job, the judge will have the final say. More witnesses will be called Wednesday before a decision is made. Though only 3 witnesses were called today, it was still rather eventful. The state even asked for the motion to be dismissed. The judge did deny that, so they'll be back in court tomorrow. We also learned that at one point during the trial where Smith was convicted, Smith thought his case would start what they called a movement for people who were victims of a failed system, because he should have been institutionalized, as they said in court, before he would have been able to commit the crimes he did against that 8-year-old girl. He also feared for being in general population. That was discussed in court today, but court will begin at 10 a.m. tomorrow in courtroom 406. Based upon the motion, they're going to talk about the following topics tomorrow. They're going to hear more accusations about errors in the case, not enough objections being made by those trial attorneys, and also a request for a new penalty phase. Reporting live from the Duval County Courthouse, Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.